And we're live. Here it is. We've got Misty
Yeah.
Portugal and Felicia Rayne in our respective socially distanced studios. Let's bring that up. I feel a little like I'm off kilter. There we are.
Oh, I look
Is
yellow
that
now.
that'll do it? Yeah, off kilter. Sorry for using language that's ancient. But welcome.
Ancients.
Aren't you both looking beautiful tonight? Is that? It's a sexy bunny, Felicia Rayne.
I am. I'm a sexy bunny, and I wore some nice day glow today because I didn't want to blend. You know, I usually fade into the background, so I just wanted to make sure that I could stand out.
Nice.
Understood. Making sure that you are seen and definitely should be seen. Welcome everybody. I'm still. I've got my drink poured. Drinking from a Montreal cup. Welcome everybody. Tell us what you're drinking, where you're drinking from. Saying hello to everybody that's out there. I see that we have some viewers
Awesome.
tuning in. Fantastic.
Yay.
And
My lighting is very weird to me this time. I moved it, but now I look yellow.
I think you look golden,
Oh, my, thank you. Oh, I
like a
am golden.
shower.
But my shirt actually, like, you can see it more in blue light, but I mean, then you can't see me, and you want to see me, I know.
That's why they came. That's why they make those coins, girls, because they
It's
want to see
true.
you.
I know.
there we are. We are being told to make sure that we are. They are donating to get those coins into Misty and Felicia.
Yes. Get them in.
We've got Roshan is saying hello again from Scarborough. Welcome, Roshan.
Hello.
Welcome back.
Hello.
And my light just flickered. I hope that wasn't like a power outage, but it's a. I think it's my light bulb is dying. That's it. It just flipped once or twice. But we will work with that. If you want to get your questions in anonymously, you can go to the slido.com TLD 204, not 2000, because it's season 2, episode 4. We're just going to run that ticker along the bottom so people can see it. And make sure that they get their questions in. We only have a couple questions in right now, so we need some more questions in. But
Don't you want to ask us things? We have all the answers, all
It's
of them.
it's true, we do.
I thought you were asking me to like ask you about what you've been doing for the past week or so.
No. I meant I'm talking to the people. I'm breaking the fourth wall.
Yes.
It's very Deadpool of you. There we are. We
Yeah.
are.
I would do Deadpool.
Oh my God, me too. A
You-
million
you-
and 1%.
1,000,001.
Yes. Meaning definitely I'm there.
You know what? I save this because I think we have a question coming up that will address that.
Ooh, I love
and
those questions.
we've got a new little format here. We're going to start at the
Ooh.
bottom though. Is I love my partner, but she has rats. Oh, the pet kind.
Oh.
She lets them crawl all over her, and I can't stand them. Their tiny eyes and hands freak me out.
Oh no.
Am I the asshole for thinking this may be a deal breaker? All right, Felicia, you have the hot seat.
I'm in the hot seat. And it's not just herpes this time. No, it's like you're not an asshole for thinking it's a deal breaker at all. That's creepy as fuck. And now I'm gonna get like all these PETA people. Like I'm a bunny, okay? So calm down, PETA people. But rats are gross. The bubonic plague. I mean, like it's not a cuddly animal. It's a I spread disease and kill things animal. And some people love it. That's cool. More power to you. But I once dumped a guy because he had a snake. Like, not the one in his trousers. That one pleased me. But, like, he had, like, one that he let out of its glass tank thing. And I was just like, no, I'm sorry. That's a deal breaker. I want your anaconda, not an anaconda.
Boom. All right. That was the boa answer we were looking for. No, that was
That was
bad.
really good. See, I happen to like rats. I think they're really cute and I love their little hands and their beady little eyes, so I'm a little opposite of that. But I mean, if the only thing that you could do is ask them to get rid of their pet, and that's mean. So I think that if it's a deal breaker and you can't deal with it, then find someone else that doesn't have rats.
Boom. And I think a big important part of this question that we are missing is they're asking, are they the asshole? You're only the asshole if you continue to lead them on or if you ask them to get rid of the rats.
Yeah.
Like they have made a life commitment to those rats because they are taking care of those rats.
Mm-hmm.
Those rats obviously increase the quality of their life. If you can't deal with the rats, that means you should free both of you up to seek out another partner each.
Agreed.
I love how the love doctor comes in with the voice of reason and wisdom. You know, Misty, Felicia were both like, well, we base this entirely on what we like ourselves. I like rats, I don't like rats. And the love doctor is like, or we actually be adults about this, and it's not about liking or not liking the rat. It's about communication, respect, and boundaries. Yay!
True.
And that is the sense of the show. Welcome to anyone who's new watching the show. We are talking about love, sex, and relationships, and answering your questions here. This is we're moving on to the next question already. Do you like the new layout? The little the three of us at the bottom.
Yep.
I always like being on the bottom.
Me
right.
too. It's so funny.
The next question is yay or nay flavored lube. If yay, what flavor? I'm in the hot seat. All right, I flavored. No, because I'm pretty sure the people who make the flavors for the flavored lube are the same people that make the flavors that go into the flavored fluorides, because that's not peach. I will say that directly. That is not peach. That is no way in shape or form is peach. It is no way that blueberry. No, these are not good flavors. I do not have one. I'm sort of like, use lube, of course, but make sure that you and your partner or partners are good with the flavors. There we go, Felicia.
Okay, so I have an answer and I have an anecdote. You guys are welcome. The answer is I don't really care either way. I would prefer just like the straight up taste of you. Like that's like I want to live the whole experience. If you go to Italy, you know, like you want to live the flavors of Italy, right? So I just want to sample you. I don't need blueberry number 9 on top of it. Like it's just pure you is what I'm looking for. So I would say tasteless, I guess. I'm pretty tasteless. And now my anecdote. This is funny because it has to do with flavored things we put in our mouths. I was on the bus. This is going back to maybe like my mid-20s. And I was with a friend and there was like a sign in the bus for flavored condoms. And I looked at her and I was just like, are you seeing this? And she's like, yeah, flavored condoms. And I was just like, that is like the stupidest thing I've ever heard of. And she's like, why? I'm like, well, it's not like you taste anything in your ass or your vagina. And she's like, it's for when you give head, you idiot. And I was like, who gives head with a condom? Like, I had no idea that that's actually something people do. Like, I was in my mid-20s before I found out head with a condom is actually a good sexual best practice. I have never done that. So, flavored condoms.
Safety issue. Great anecdote. Misty.
I don't like the flavors of things for sure, so I'd say just leave it regular, but I'm also like you, Felicia, that I didn't even think of that, which is really bad because it is sad because in all of the stuff that I've learned and the things that I knew about dental dams, which I've never had used on me. All of this is really bad for safety, absolutely 100%. But then I never thought about putting a condom on when giving head, ever.
It's never occurred to me.
I think I did it once, and it was gross, and so I didn't do it again.
You know, it's like eating the candy bar through the shrink wrap.
Yeah, and
I
so
just want the Mr. Big.
Right? Me too. But like, also, I mean, back then I can say like I wasn't thinking about STIs or like at all, and I really didn't think you could get them from your mouth, which is really stupid.
I know. It's one of those things where like, well, if you can't get pregnant here, you're safe, right?
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
the general gist of it. But no, and for all of you listening, I'm not advocating this. Please understand.
No.
I find it funny that my ignorance led me to be 25 on a bus going, what?
Yeah. Yeah, me too. I'm not advocating for that at all. I think that it's exactly best practice. And like, I don't really mind strawberry flavored things, but I have tasted condoms. just to, it's not real strawberry. It's just like a weird sweet. It's exactly like fluoride. The lube tastes like fluoride. You're right. It's very weird, and it smells weird. Flavored condoms smell weird.
I just realized I look like a gecko for a moment. Just it was.
Sexy.
Yeah,
That is
just so
sexy.
very sexy. Roshan is saying that rats would be a deal breaker for them. Ugh. So
Fair.
that is the point to cover. I also I think one of the benefits is getting to a point with serious enough with a partner to be removing like oral dams and condoms, so you have the taste of the person.
Absolutely. And I mean, that is like getting serious enough, like making sure that you're
Both
um
tested, etc.
exactly. And you go together even to get tested. 'Cause like, I don't know, anyone can say they've done something and not actually have done it just to get in your pants, right?
Very
Yes.
true.
Yeah.
So, really the only real safe way is to go do that together. And
I
that's a
was gonna
bonding
say
experience.
today on the after school special, Ronnie and
Let's all
Caitlin
go
want
to
to
the
take their
doctor.
relationship to the next level.
Johnny and Joni and Chachi go to the SDI clinic. There we
I
are.
love it.
I do too. I think it's great.
So that's great couples activities. That's one that we have to put into the
Yay.
list.
Yeah.
There we are. I see more people are joining us. We're here answering your questions
Yay.
about love, sex, and relationships. Feel free to ask us a question in chat, or if you want to be anonymous, just writing along the bottom there, it says sli.do or slido.com. Both of them work. The event code is TLD204, all crammed together, no spaces, because this is the Love Doctor, and it is season 2, episode 4. Our next question that we have here is, hi, do you have a celebrity crush?
Oh.
Celebrity crush. Misty, you're in the hot seat.
Fuck yeah. Shawn Mendes. Oh. Like,
Fuck yeah.
Okay. I knew he was okay, but like he always seemed really young because he is really young. But then I watched the thing that's on, I don't know, Think Crave or Netflix or something. I don't know. But how driven this motherfucker is and how like he's just beautiful. He's beautiful. He's beautiful. Like I can't.
Misty, is he beautiful?
I think he's a little beautiful.
He's a little beautiful.
Actually,
Okay.
I think he's
Okay.
gorgeous.
I
He's a
just wanted
little
to make sure I was
beautiful
following.
and gorgeous. So
Yeah.
yes, that's my
Okay.
celebrity crush. Well, what about you two?
Oh, I've had several through the years.
Okay,
I
me
think
too.
possibly my very first celebrity crush would have been Terry Garr.
Oh yes, I could see that.
And that was like watching her on Letterman, the interviews. There was a lot of sparks there, actually, if you go back and look at those. That's why he was so brokenhearted that she was like one of Jay's first guests. And then there was young Lily Tomlin, who's I'm definitely not the type of anyways, but intelligent and funny, witty, quick.
One ringy dingy.
One ringy dingy, exactly. And not Ernestine, Maggie Gyllenhaal.
Oh yeah, I see
Yep.
that, and I could actually see the two of you together. That seems like a thing.
No,
Yeah.
I feel out of my league sort of thing.
Maggie, if you're watching, give the Love Doctor a call because I really feel that would work. That's just my 2 cents. You're welcome.
Felicia, I need you as my press agent. That's welcome. Thank you.
Ooh.
My celebrity crush. Well, aside from this legendary Montreal comic, Paul Ash, who I've cut for years, I would have to say it's a toss-up. I have 2. One of them based solely on looks, the other one based on personality, and also looks, because I'm shallow. So the one solely on looks is Zac Efron. I swear to God, like there's this meme that says that Zac Efron's hotness ages with me. Like when I was young, I found young Zac Efron hot. But as I've gotten older, he has gotten older and
Yes.
continued to be my type. So I'm just growing old with this hot hot man. We haven't grown old in the same way. Like life has just beat me and left me for dead, and yet every year he seems to get a little bit hotter. And then the other one would be Ryan Reynolds.
Oh my God.
Ryan, oh my God. Like
Me too. We can share
just
him.
tell he'd be fun. Like he'd just be a great boyfriend. Like
He is.
yeah.
And his banter and the stuff that he does with his wife, like on Twitter, how they like fight with each other, but not. It's the best. Yeah, I was just thinking Ryan Reynolds too when you were saying that. I was like, oh yeah, personality, Ryan Reynolds.
Personality, Ryan Reynolds.
Because I mean, honestly, if you really want me to get down to the nitty gritty, do I have just one actual celebrity crush? No. There's so many, and I'm vain AF. So it's literally just because I think they're all hot.
Yeah.
Like it has nothing like, used to be Johnny Depp, but I'm not sure about him anymore. But then there's like, oh my God, yeah. Zac Efron for sure. I felt really creepy liking him because I'm older than he is. So
You're
now that
also
he's
older
old
than
enough,
Shawn
it's great.
Mendes, doll.
Shh. We're forgetting about that. He's in his 20s now. It's fine. That's really scary though. He's really young.
The Zac Efron Felicia Rayne, like that is a classic that has gone back for as long as
Forever?
I've known you, Felicia.
I used to write to him every 4 months on Instagram. Every 4 months I'd write to him to let him know that I was still available should he be interested.
I love
And
that.
not
I hope
once
he read
did that
them.
son of a bitch ever write me back. So Zac Efron, screw you. I won't wait for you forever. And Ryan, if you get to me first, that's just how the cookie crumbles. So
I just saw today Ryan Reynolds had a series of commercials, like made a series of commercials to look like 1980s commercials. And he hired the actor who played Carlton on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air
Yes.
to do all these commercials.
That's fabulous.
They are hilarious. Ryan Reynolds on YouTube is a chance to see those.
I love
Next
him.
question:
He's
Are
funny.
we set?
Are we? I'm ready.
All right.
I'm always ready.
Me too.
Nobody's ready. Nobody's ready for the answers we're giving either. And by the way, no, I just want to jump back on that. Is like celebrity crushes are great. The idea, keeping fantasy alive in your head, keeping yourself thinking. As long as you don't confuse it with reality, you're good.
Right.
So that's just do that. Do what's in your head, because that's a fun and fantastic thing to do.
Like on the show Catfish. Have you ever seen that? I'm sorry. I'm digressing.
No, I haven't.
Okay, so
we
I just have to
sidetracking on
tell
this
you.
one.
Oh, only a little, because it is a celebrity crush thing. So this guy was like talking to this girl, and she was pretending to be someone I don't remember who, but we're gonna say Taylor Swift. We're gonna pretend. And so he thinks he's talking to her. He's genuinely believes that he's having a relationship with her, but his friends reach out to like the TV show is about people getting catfished when they're meeting people online, and like how they can fall in love and it just takes a really long time and blah blah blah. That's what the show is about. So they find the person that's catfishing him, and then she's like, yeah, sorry, I just wasn't, I just did this for fun. Like she was a bit of an asshole. And the guy would not believe that it wasn't his celebrity crush. Even though she said, like, here's all the messages, he's like, no, you got that from her.
Wow,
That's
that's
not true.
sad though.
Yeah, and he continuously, so now he was like messaging the real person. So we'll say again, Taylor Swift, he was messaging her in reality, and they actually got in touch with the person to be like, I've never talked to this human in my life.
I can only imagine the poor sad bastards out there who have me as their celebrity crush and just pine for me from afar. I'm like, it must be very, very hard. I'm so sorry, Morgan O'Shea.
So if you have a Felicia Rayne celebrity crush, then you can always find Felicia Rayne on Instagram.
Yes.
So Felicia
and
_
slide
Rayne.
into my DMs.
There we are.
Ready.
And the next question, we're finally getting to it, is
Sorry.
I have started exploring my feminine side, and Felicia, your hair is amazing. Do you have any suggestions on where to get some? I've been getting my clothes from secondhand stores.
So this one
is directed
directly to me.
Yeah.
I'm not good at thrifting. I love people that know how to thrift and can do it well. I can't do it well because my sister used to say that all my taste is in my mouth, and that's not a lie. I'm so bad when it comes to fashion. If I don't see it done in a store, set up by someone, I cannot put those things together myself. But one of the places I like to go is Shein. It's a website, so they do a lot of throwaway fashion. I am going to say it's probably not as ethical as people would like it to be because it's very, very cheap. It's very cheap.
It's really cheap.
It's incredibly cheap. It's like you will not find
That's
cheaper clothes.
so
Maybe
good.
maybe in the thrift store. But the thing is that it's a lot of fun because you'll find very what I consider to be very feminine pieces. Like they're very, okay, I'm just going to say it what it is. They're slutty. There's a lot of slutty clothes. Like, and so I know that for me, and I'm not saying that that's how we get in touch with our feminine sides, because now I can feel people being like, oh my God, so you have to be a slut to be a woman? No, but I am going to say that like falling into the sensuality of it, sexy clothes really helps. Like, you know, when you start putting on the lace, when you start putting on the corsets and the bras, like, so I would say definitely start with, you know, something like that. Or if you're good at thrifting, do it that way because it can be costly in the beginning. It's a lot. You know, even for wigs, but a one-stop shop for everything: wigs, shoes, fabric, secondhand stores for clothing.
How do you spell it?
You want to go to Saint Subar Street. It's literally it's everything for a quinceañera or a drag queen. Like it's both. It caters really just the whole gamut.
All right, but what was the website?
Shein.
Shein. So SHEIN.
Yeah. So funny. I almost wore the same dress that I wore last night because you said, okay, so audience, I totally was like, what are we wearing? I want to kind of match. So I wore neon as well. But I almost wore the dress I wore last night, but I was afraid that anybody that saw me on my Instagram would be like, did she sleep? Is she wearing the same thing? So I didn't. But now I kind of want to go change and put it back on just because it is a Shein purchase and it was really cheap and looks amazing.
You got me kind of curious. Now I'm like, what is this Shein fantasticness?
Can I go? I need to top off my drink. I'll be right
all right,
back.
we got the topping off the drink, and I have no advice other than the fact that is being honest with yourself, being in touch with yourself, and open yourself up to the emotions that you want. And I think the fashion will follow. If the fashion helps you, then use the fashion. As Felicia's
you are the
displaying
Jiminy
fashion.
Cricket of this show. You are the Jiminy Cricket. You're like, and again, it's really what's on the inside that counts. Yeah, that too. The drag queen's like, it's about what you're wearing. Make sure you look good. And you're like, also, it's your inside. That's important. Oh my God, I love it.
Boom. Oh. I have had to stop taking mushrooms for medical reasons. But that would be.
Don't mind, I'm not wearing any bra, so you know my boobs are hanging low, but I don't give a fuck. See?
I don't think anyone's complaining. So.
I am wearing a bra and my boobs are hanging low, so fuck off.
No, this is, and if I put this down lower, maybe they won't look as low, but I don't care. So that's what I got from Shein for, I don't know, $9.
I love it.
I wore it last night to a concert, and I did my makeup to look exactly the same.
Your makeup looked fierce. I saw you on Insta. It looked fantastic with the waves. Really well done.
Thanks.
And that's the Misty Portugal, all one word on Instagram. The capitals don't matter.
No, they
it's just
don't.
there to help you know how to spell it
but,
a little easier.
Because there was a lot. Because there was a lot of blue light, I glowed, and in the concert there was all sorts of like visuals, so I looked like the visuals. So it was really fun because people were on drugs and they were like, my job here is done.
Never done a drug in my life.
Me either. Definitely not last night.
We've done our vaccines. There we are.
Yes.
Oh yes.
Vaccines.
Yes.
What are you doing, Nova?
All right.
My cat came to say hi.
I've noticed. Oh, great! This is a great question. I've noticed that my girlfriend gets hornier around full moons,
Mhm.
I know that the moon can affect the menstrual cycle, but is
Hmm.
there any correlation?
Mm,
Misty, you are in the hot seat, so you get this one first. So I'm in less trouble.
perfect. Perfect. I can say for me, there's a correlation because it depends on the month, really. Because some months I do get way hornier when I'm on my period or I'm just about to get my period. I'm like, just give me my vibrators or give me a guy. Like, back in the day, I'd just put condoms in my bag and go pick up somebody. But, it's COVID now, so I don't sort of do that as much or at all as much. And then, but definitely there is a correlation I've discovered, but I can't say for me that it's for the full moon as it is so much just my menstrual cycle for sure. Because my menstrual cycle definitely doesn't go always with the full moon. There are people where it does, but so I say yes, there is a correlation.
All
In
right.
my 43 years of experience, and what would that be? 30 years? Wait, 11? What's that? What's 43 minus 11? 32?
32.
Yeah, so in my 32
Apple.
years of having, in my Apple years of having a period, yes, there's a correlation.
All right, Felicia.
Listen, all the experience that I have with vagina, is like none. I can't tell you if there's a correlation between, the moon, the menstrual cycle, the horniness. But I will say, though, I do think that there are biorhythms. I really do believe that we do respond to nature because I do know that I get different around full moons. And I'm not going to say like sometimes it's hornier, sometimes like it's not. Like, but I know that my moods change around full moons. And I also know I do get hornier in the spring. If it's springtime, if you see me anytime after March 21st and you are even remotely a good looking, I was going to say male, really, if you're just remotely good looking, I'm very, very horny end of March, beginning of April. I don't know why. Maybe it's a birds and the bees thing, like nature is blossom, everything's screwing around me. But wow, do I ever feel that? Like people get spring fever and I get like spring horny fever. I'm just like, oh my God, do me, please. Let's smell the tulips and do me.
All right. I'm gonna be the no here. With saying, the moon doesn't affect the menstrual cycle, or every woman would be in sync. And they'd be in sync with the calendar, the lunar calendar, and that's not the case. Most women that I've known do get hornier around their cycle during their fertility periods. Some get psychologically they get more aroused when they know that there's less chance of getting pregnant because it's safer. But I definitely agree with the idea that there are biorhythms that human beings go with, and so we have our ups and we have our downs, and they're both very normal. So just be thankful that you have a girlfriend, and if you're happy when they're horny, then be happy with it. Don't ask any fucking questions that are going to get
If
you
you're
slapped.
happy and you're horny, clap your hands.
No,
I'm
no, no, no.
sorry, I
That's
could
not
not
that's
help
not the
it.
lines. If you're happy and you're horny, clap their ass. There we are. Boom.
Did you just
Oh,
see what he did? He's
I'm
the
a
king.
lady.
Who?
Me.
Oh, I thought you were making fun. I'm sorry. I'm like, this is
No,
not a
you're like,
lady.
who? I was like, wow, Misty was ready to throw down. She's like, what'd you say, bitch?
I'm not a lady, and neither is this cat. Because I was paying attention, I'm sorry, to him. Because he had his
Yeah.
arms all dangly and he was really cute. Like, look at this cute face. He's got a
we
cute
have
little
a
pink
cat on
nose.
the internet. That means we should win the internet, which means you people should be pressing a like a bit more.
Yes,
Feel free to
press like.
share this video live. Bring other people in. If you're watching it in repeats, we're on 9 p.m.s on Sundays.
And ask your freaking questions. Don't be a voyeur. Don't just sit there and stare at us. That's creepy. You're creepy. Engage with us. I want to know about you. Ask me a question so I can get into your psyche.
And
Yes.
say hello in the chat as well. You
Yes.
don't need to ask your question publicly, but you can just put it into the chat. We have our next question is here. Are
Oh,
we
yay.
set?
I
Uh-huh.
am.
Oh, I've got a hickey that has lasted over 2 weeks now. A bit nervous because it is still dark brown. Oh, it just moved. Well, not the hickey. Sorry. Do I need
Oh no, I
to
was like,
see?
it's a moving hickey. You should really get that checked out.
Yeah, moving hickeys should definitely be checked out.
Agreed.
So it's lasted for over 2 weeks. A bit nervous because it's still a dark brown. It isn't fading. Do I need to see a medical doctor? I'm going to say no, unless you're feeling pain or it's raised up above. If it's just a skin discoloration, it's just a bruise that's slow to fade.
Mm.
That would be my suggestion on that. Misty.
I mean, I sort of agree with you in the sense that usually hickeys will go away, and it is basically a bruise that was just caused by sucking too hard. So yay, fun for that.
Mhm.
But in my mind, if you have something that you're nervous about, I will go see the doctor. I mean, we live in Canada. If you can go and you can get an appointment like for free and you don't have to pay for it, then if you're really nervous about it or it still just doesn't go away, why not? You never know. Maybe a blood vessel broke and now it's like blood underneath the skin and something has to happen. Or maybe it'll just fade on its own. But if you're really nervous, it doesn't hurt.
2 weeks. 2 weeks does seem to be a long period of time.
For a hickey, yeah.
Felicia.
So I usually like to tackle everything with humor, but I'm going to get serious on this one. I would say number one, don't panic, because
Yes.
I know in this situation I would. I'm the type of person that I'm a hypochondriac, so if something has happened, I will take it to the, oh my God, this must mean it's the end of times. So
Mhm.
don't panic. Don't go on WebMD. Don't
Oh,
try
yeah.
and diagnose it yourself. You are not a doctor. You do not understand. Everything, listed looks like cancer. Everything comes out. It's like, I have pain there. It could be cancer. So don't start trying to diagnose yourself. But to Misty's point, if it bothers you, get it looked at. And for me, 2 weeks for bruising, like, I'm a makeup artist, so I deal with bruising. 2 weeks is a long time. I would be, and if you're not seeing a change in color,
Yeah.
to Misty's point, it could be a burst blood vessel. It could be something else. So why not just play it safe, get it checked out? You're going to feel better. It's the responsible thing to do. Just, it's for peace of mind. But again, don't panic. Just be responsible.
Great answers. So there we are. We've got another question has come in. Welcome. I see we have new viewers. Keep on watching. Ask us your questions. You can either do it anonymously, go into slido.com using event code TLD204. You see that just scrolling on the bottom. Or you can just ask it in chat. We've got Monica Hamburg is saying, great advice. Thank you very much,
Awesome.
Monica.
Hi, Monica.
Hello, Monica.
Last week you talked about taking care of your girlfriend when she is on her period. I wanted to buy my girlfriend tampons, but there are like 20 different types. How do you pick one? And Felicia, you've got this question first. With all that great experience that you've mentioned.
Yeah, let me tell you about my great experience. I used to do a number. This is the only thing I can tell you about tampons and periods. So the type of drag that I do is I parody songs. That's the type of drag I do. I've been doing it for years. The wonderful comic, again, I think I spoke about him before, Mr. Paul Ash really gave me my start. And one of the songs that I would do is, actually, I'm not even going to tell you what it is yet. I would give the audience members a tampon, and then I would pass around glasses of juice, and they would soak the tampon. And during the chorus of my song, they would fling the soaked tampon onto stage. Obviously, the juice was cherry. So this was incredibly graphic. And the song was Leona Lewis's Bleeding Love.
I knew it. I was
Yeah,
gonna
it was
say.
Bleeding Love.
Bleeding.
And I had rewritten it to talk about getting my period for the first time and what that was like. And then it's like, I keep bleeding, I keep bleeding. And tampons are smacking me in the face. So... that's what I know about tampons. Yay.
Oh my God.
That is I don't have that great a story. My one advice though for the person about what kind of tampons to get is to ask your partner what type do they use, because they different ones feel different, fit different, etc. Get what they like. That's safer and saner.
Yep, I agree. I was just gonna say that ask because it's really, really personal which ones you like. Like all of us will use whatever we can. Like if we're out somewhere and we just need a tampon, you ask someone, you use what they give you. Sometimes it's too small, sometimes it's too big, sometimes it's like, what the fuck is this plastic weird thing? But but then everyone develops their favorite because we all try them all. So you develop your favorite. So I would ask, or not that I think you should ever spy on your partner at all. If you're in the bathroom, you're like, are they in here? Nope. Then okay, just ask. But if you see them, just note it down.
What's
But
under the sink? There we are.
exactly, could be under the sink, could be just displayed. It could really be anywhere. I mean, and she might not even use tampons. She or they could use a Diva cup, and so then a tampon would be moot.
Yes.
Although it's always nice to have some tampons around. I currently have some, even though I use the Diva cup, just because you never know. And also because sometimes your cervix is very painful, and when you use the Diva cup, it hurts like a motherfucker. And you're like, fuck you, Diva cup, and then you have to use a tampon. That's a little too much information. I'm all about that.
This show has not been sponsored by Diva Cup.
No, it has not. I don't even use the actual Diva cup. I just mean that I use a cup. I use the Athena cup, thank you, and it is bright pink. It matches
Two girls,
my clothing.
one cup. That's the cup I know.
I've never seen that, thank God.
Me neither.
Now, part of the cleaning of the Diva cup is that you're supposed to boil it. Don't forget it on the stove.
Take it
I've
out
been in a
first,
house
though.
that has happened.
You have to take it out before
Yes.
you boil it.
Yes, take it out.
You've been in a house where they forgot it on the stove?
Yes, ruined the pot at the Diva cup.
Ooh, that must not have smelled good
No.
either.
Nope.
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 I wasn't in the house when it happened, or else I would have smelled it happening.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, sweet merciful Jesus. I'd be like, I'm sorry. I can smell your Diva cup.
Well, it'd be the burning plastic. You don't smell anything from the actual cup itself, but and it's not plastic, it's silicone, but still
Silicone.
that would, if it's on that would be gross. Like I put a
Ruined the
kettle
pot.
on once and forgot, and I got in the bath. That stunk out the whole house.
I had a house party once, and there was this girl that
What?
came. She was one of my idols. There's people in my life that I have met that I'm just like, I want to be you. I just want that. And it's always like,
I want that for
be
me.
happy being yourself. I am. I'm happy being me. But there's sometimes that I meet people, and I'm like, no, you though. I'd like to be you. And she was one of those people because she came over. She had her purse. She put it on the back of the sofa, and the purse fell, and out rolls a huge string of anal beads.
Oh.
And she picks them up with absolutely not a shred of indignity and says, well, you never know. And that was it. That was the end of the interaction. You never know. And I was like, you are everything I'd like to be.
Yes.
It's just like, of course I have anal. Who doesn't have anal beads in their handbag at a house party? I'm like, because you never know. It's just, you want them, I love it.
Mona Perverse is saying, hello, beautiful humans.
Hello.
And so lovely to join you on this juicy tampon convo. Hi, AM She. There we are. Oh, is this, was she confessing to the anal bead story?
Oh, no, it was not Mona. Though I would be surprised if Mona had anal beads in her purse. That would not. Mona, I'm so sorry, but if you were like, I got anal beads, handcuffs, what have you, you never know.
All right.
I love
there
it.
we are. Let's get on to the next question before anything else comes out. Where are we? There we are. Speaking of deal breakers, what's the craziest person you've either broken up with or someone with some? Sorry, what's the craziest reason you've broken up with someone or been broken up with? And that is putting Misty Portugal into the hot seat.
Oh God, I'm thinking. The craziest reason I've broken up with someone? I don't know. I really have to think
Or been
on
broken
this.
up with.
No, I mean, I've had bad breakups, but they don't really tell me why. They're just like they're not interested or they just don't call me back.
Mm.
The craziest reason I've broken up with someone. Again, I don't know. Like, to be honest, I haven't had that many relationships. And usually when I do, like, they break up because we just lose interest in each other. I wish I had a really fun story for this because I'm a pretty fun human and weird things happen to me, but I don't really have a weird story for this. Sorry.
Oh, and sorry, Mona is confirming. Really? I do.
Oh my God,
So,
please write it. Send it to me on Messenger and I'll read it for you. Because then it's longer and you don't have to worry
oh, I
about
no, no. I think that means they have the anal beads in their
Yeah.
purse.
I knew she
Oh,
would. I knew she'd be like, of course they like fuck off. Like
I
obviously I
thought you
do.
said a weird
Um.
breakup story. I wish I did. If I think of anything, I'll mention it.
So first of all, I'm gonna say, Misty, you're definitely one of those people that I'm like, I want to be her. Like just the way that you were like, but like I'm a weird person and weird things happen to me. I was like, I love that. Like you're the kind of person I want to be friends with. Like those are the people I want in my life. I'm like, weird shit happens because you're always someone that it's going to be interesting to talk to you. I love weird. So, not that I am. Collection of dolls behind me, neon
And
Dayglow bunny.
that's not
Weird
even like
breakup stories. The worst reason I ever broke up with someone, and please cut me some slack, guys, because this was in my early 20s and I was very shallow. I mean, I was like kiddie pool shallow. The guy had a hair on his shoulder and it was long and black and it freaked me out. And other than that, he was stunningly beautiful. Like, it was ridiculous. Like, when I look back at it now, I'm like, you are so stupid. Because, like, now I realize how few actual quality guys there are. Like, after, 20 something years of experience, you look back and you're like, when you're young, you're like, oh my God, there's plenty of fish in the sea. And you're like, yes, but most of those fish, like, are floundering. They're, like,
yeah.
belly up floating on the surface. Like, most of them are not edible good fish. And so when you look back on some of the reasons that you ended things, it's like, now a guy could freaking have like a fur coat on him of hair, and I would be like, it's okay, it's all good, please love me. And I'm not saying lower your standards, but
No.
yeah, I don't break up with people for such ridiculous reasons anymore. And the thing that I got broken up with that was sort of like the worst for me was I really struggle with Jan and Felicia. It's not just a performance thing for me. Like, so people are like, are you trans? No, I'm not trans. I identify as male, but I feel more comfortable as Felicia when it comes to sexuality. So it puts me in a weird dating place. And sometimes I really try and lean into Dan more. And so, like, I'll work out a lot and I'll try and be more masculine. And I was actually going through one of those phases and I started dating a guy. And one day he was like, oh, let's go get ice cream. I was like, cool. And he's like, I'll grab my coat. And he opened my closet and I forgot that I had Felicia's shoes at the bottom. And he was like, what's this? And I was like, oh. And like, it's not that I hid it so much as like, it hadn't really come up yet. I hadn't been doing drag at that time, So like, I didn't really feel it was something I needed to sort of like put out there. And when he found out that, I sort of did drag, like that was it. Like it was a full deal breaker for him. He was like, I can't see you as masculinely as I would like to anymore. Like your masculinity has been sort of like scarred for me. And that's like what I was into about you. So that's always tough because that one is just like, it's, obviously people are attracted to what they're attracted to, but when you already struggle with like the masculine feminine thing, it can be a really shitty reason to get broken up with.
Boom.
100%.
I've got two stories.
Okay.
I'll try to keep them brief. Both
We've
of
got
them,
lots of
well,
time.
one happened in my 20s and the other one happened earlier. The one in my 20s was I was real good friends with this person, and they had a shitty boyfriend, and they would ask me questions about the boyfriend, and I sort of was defending the boyfriend because I knew that they were making them happy, and then it got to the point, no, I can't defend that person anymore, and they broke up, and then a couple weeks after they broke up, we started sleeping together fairly regularly, and this went on for a few months, and then they said, you know what? I think I'm going to be asking that guy over there out. And they explained to me that I was a rebound, and they
Oh
thought I
no.
understood.
Oh.
So that one hurt at the time.
Yeah.
And I've since made peace with that person. They are a friend, but that was just sort of like a okay. That's disappointing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the other one, it's sort of not so much weird at the time. My first consensual sexual partner, we dated on and off for for about 18 months over 2 years, and we'd break up. We'd have these fights and we'd break up. And I was a teenager at the time, and we were seeing each other for probably close to a year before we actually had sex, and then shared sex. I think I've told this story too. It's about the fact that it actually happened in the closet. So actually, after the first time I consensually had sex, I had to come out of the closet. There is.
hmm Oh, I remember one.
You know the story now. It was, I think years later, because this happened. We broke up actually on prom night.
Yeah.
And it was, I had my first apartment, and I was out picking up milk. And I was in a store, and I closed the milk fridge. They were right there, like right beside me. Like I didn't even see them come up. And it was like they went, "Hey, I thought that was you. I recognized you, and I wanted to apologize for treating you like shit while we were dating. I just didn't realize at the time that I was a lesbian.
Oh.
Oh.
So I obviously wasn't fulfilling what they needed, and so it's obvious that there was stress in the relationship because of that. And then yeah, the relationship ended, and they could find themselves. So I guess I was holding them back.
Mm,
I don't know if I would put it as holding them back. I
I
mean,
think
like,
they didn't know yet, right?
yeah,
They
it was
didn't know
part of
yet.
a
No.
learning, you know?
Yeah.
I remember the last girl that I dated before I came out. She even asked me, she's like, "Oh my God, like, was it me?" And I remember just feeling so like heartbroken that she would even ask that, because like in no way did me coming out, in my opinion, diminish my relationship with her. At that point, I hadn't explored, you know, my sexuality in that way. Like, you know, if you're gonna ask me, like, did I have feelings for her? Yes, I did. Like, you know, people are like, "Oh, you were confused." No, I wasn't confused at the time. That's how I identified, and so it was legitimate. So I don't think you were holding her back. I think she just hadn't figured it out yet, but that doesn't take away from, you know, whatever time you two spent together.
Yeah, agreed. I do remember breaking up with someone once though because I didn't like their sex face.
Oh my God, I love it. Yay! Oh
Yeah, I
my
just thought of
God.
that. I was like, there had to be something, and there was that. Yeah, and it was
Can you do it? Can you make the face? What did
no,
it
it
look
was
like?
angry. It was like an angry face. Like I don't even know what I'd have to go work in the mirror, figure it out.
Yeah.
But it was like, it was we we were new to sex. I'll just put it that way, just because I don't know who's listening. You never know. And I don't want to call out this person, but anyway, we were new to it, and we had sex a couple times, and we were actually having sex in the closet too. Didn't mean to start that way, but just because we were on the floor, because we didn't want his parents to hear the bed. And I remember, I guess I always had my eyes closed. And this one time I didn't, and I looked up, and his face, I still remember it because it was like angry. Like I was like, oh my God. And then he looked completely not like he was with me, but like he was like, I was
Oh,
something
that's,
he was
oh, I
doing
just
it
got
too.
shivers.
And then I
No.
was like, this is no good. And then
No, that's no bueno.
I didn't have sex with him again.
Mm.
And he didn't like he didn't even know he was doing that. Like I don't know what was going on. Maybe he was fantasizing. I don't know. You know, because I never
If it
told him
was
about it.
legitimately angry, I find that scary, because, like, for all you know, he could have been like a sociopath. But I
I
have
still
to
know him.
tell
He's
you,
not, but like it was very. I didn't like it.
like, a fetish of mine, like something that I like is really a fetish for me, is when someone has a really ugly sex face. That
Oh,
turns me on. So like, you know, the guy's really hot, like, you know, and like you're going down on him and he's giving you like one of
that
these like,
face.
yeah, yeah. And then he gets to climax and he's like, oh, oh, you know, and it's just, oh, and I'm like, oh my God, yes, yeah. And he just looks horrible. He looks so terrible. He's just like distorted like a funhouse mirror stretched him, and it turns me on. I was like, I think it's like look at the power I have over this Adonis who was once beautiful is now reduced to like, oh, like I'm like, that is amazing. I did that to you.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, sometimes if I get in my head, I have no idea what my face is doing and I hate it. And I'm like, someone tape me, but don't, because I never want to see that.
Oh my God, no. If anyone ever take me having sex, I know for a fact I'd never have sex again.
Me too.
It'd be like jumping on a trampoline. They'd be like, we filmed you jumping on a trampoline in slow-mo. I'd be like, you know
No.
what? I don't need to see that.
Everything does things. And you know, you can imagine my boobs are like, whoa, whoa.
Tom Petty got it right. I'm free falling.
I
Free
mean, my mind.
balling. Oh,
It's
what?
even
Sorry.
like when you look down and you see everything moving, and I'm like, I should not look down. I should keep looking at you.
Well, do you know where I got some of my best sex advice from? Was the Golden Girls.
I love it.
Because at one point, Dorothy is telling Blanche, you should always have sex on your back. And
Yeah.
Blanche goes, well, why? If you have
Because
sex on your back, your boobs slide to the side. And Dorothy goes, yes, but your face slides back and
I
everything
remember
looks
that.
hot and young. And then she goes, conversely, if you have sex and you're on top and you're looking down at him, just take a mirror and look at what you look like. So I did that once.
Me too.
I did that. Ladies and gentlemen, you only attempt this at home if you have a very strong constitution. Because when you look down in a mirror and gravity pulls your sagging skin forward on your stall, it is not a pretty sight. And that is what your partner is looking up into. This jiggling mass. So Golden Girls got it right. Have sex on your back. Have everything pulled back.
There we are. Okay, two quick little messages. Mona, check your Facebook messages. And number two, my manager has been mentioned a few times here. Montreal comedian Paul Ash appeared this past Thursday on the TV show Ghosts, which has now been picked up for a full season because they've only been using parts of the cast, not all the cast, every episode. But from now on out, they're going to be using every cast member every episode.
Oh.
So considering that some of the cast members are ghosts and they're stuck on the property, they now they'd be missing for an episode, and you wonder, well, where the fuck did they go? But now they're going to be there. So
Oh, that's really fun. Was your manager like one of
had a
the
role.
Yeah. Oh, that's exciting for your manager. I can't wait to talk to them.
Yes. So that's something that has happened, and
Awesome.
they are But
Where's
I mean,
this
it was
show? How do I watch it?
it's on CBS. It's also on Global and Stack TV with Amazon Prime. So those are three
Awesome.
locations. I heard it might be going to CBC Gem.
Oh my God,
When
that'd be
you
good.
said that Paul Ash was in Ghosts, I immediately went to him behind Demi Moore, and it was like, "In time goes by," like that's, and I was like, "Oh, it's not that movie." I see. I'm still gonna watch it, but let me tell you, I think they should remake Ghosts. That's what I think.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, the thing is, this TV sitcom Ghosts is a remake of a British sitcom Ghosts.
Oh, fun. It's a
And the British one
sitcom.
has been out for 2 years. They are probably the best comedy on the BBC at this point.
Oh, that's really fun to know.
So the
I
people
love
that
the
created
British
it
stuff.
are like a sketch troupe who work together. They used to do the Horrible Histories.
Oh yeah,
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so
that's gonna be funny.
it is very funny. And the American one, I really like it as well. Some incredible actors.
Yeah, okay, I'll have to watch it.
All right, but
love
we have more
British
questions.
comedy.
We haven't
Yay!
been getting to the questions.
Sorry.
Oh
I
no,
like
it's all good. Can someone who is high consent? I had a partner on drugs beg me to have sex with him, and then 2 minutes later, we're distracted by staying to the wall. I don't want to take advantage of anyone, so I told them no, but they asked me multiple times in the night. Oh, this is a tough one.
Yes.
All right. Legally, they cannot consent. What I have done in the past is before getting involved in intoxicating behavior, we give consent. But if at any point somebody says no, then it stops.
Which should be the way all the time.
Well, yes, no always should stop it.
Yeah.
So at the same time, but if somebody who is intoxicated comes up to you and asks for sex, they cannot really consent at that time. That's why I'm saying getting consent prior to intoxication, but then listening for a no is very important, and it's somebody I know. I find that to be the better way. Hold it. We just got a comment coming in. Global has ghosts available to stream on their website on Fridays, the day after the broadcast. So
Thank
there
you.
we are. So Global in Canada. Misty, what is your take on that question?
I find this to be a really hard question to answer, as being somebody who is inebriated often and can be very horny. Sometimes I just do want to have sex, but usually it's not when I'm on drugs. It's usually when I'm really drunk, but again, that's being inebriated in some way. I think that what this person did was a very smart thing to do, because when you're really high, I can speak from experience, your emotions and everything that you want to do really does fluctuate like this. So like, and when it depending on the type of drug that you take, like depending like you can be into it in one moment, but then all of a sudden your brain changes and you could be in the middle of it and then really hate it, and then that is bad for both people.
Yes.
So I definitely legally you can't actually legally consent because you're fucked up. Like you're not altogether there, so then you can't consent. That's just the legality of it. That's the truth. But as a person that does like to party, like I do find it a bit hard because I mean, I have a story about that. I'll tell it real quick. I was really, really drunk one night. Like I went out really drunk and I met one of my friends who I've wanted to have sex with forever, who was also drinking. We went back to his house, we drank, we smoked a little pot. And then I remember having a good night, and then I woke up and I was naked, and so was he, and I felt totally fine and comfortable because I have to say again, I went to his house to have sex. That's all I wanted. Literally, that's the whole reason I was there. Literally, that was it. He didn't know how drunk I was, and I didn't know how drunk I was. So I actually blacked out, but know that that's exactly what I wanted. So that is one of those situations that was really fucked up. Like I actually talked to him afterwards just to say like what exactly happened, and he cried, he felt horrible. He never would have done that had he known I was so drunk, but we didn't even realize. So I know for sure I did consent, for sure 100%, 1,000,000%, but like legally we didn't consent to each other. So it's a really difficult question. So I think what you did was absolutely exactly what you should have done. And if you're more sober, absolutely say no every time, because the only thing that'll happen is they'll be disappointed in the moment, and then the next day they'll be really happy that then they can actually make the sober decision to do stuff.
But just before Felicia answers, there's one thing that I always recommend. If you're with somebody that you're attracted to and they're intoxicated and you're intoxicated, you can invite them to your place, but nothing happens that night.
Oh, there
That's
was
what
no way.
morning sex is for.
Absolutely. And I mean, that makes sense, especially when you know how drunk you are. Like, but I'm telling you, I know for fact I probably was the person that made the first move. Like, I know that that's what I wanted. And I don't get drunk like that often, but that was just one of those nights.
And Felicia, your take on that question.
Listen, how can I already sort of expand on what both of you have said? I'm going to say two things. First, I'm going to congratulate you for throwing a question like that out there.
Yeah.
Both Misty and the Love Doctor have both said, what a difficult question this is. And that's the point of this show. The point is to tackle the difficult questions, because when we don't talk about it, that's when the uh-ohs happen. That's when the mistakes happen. That's
Yes.
when we sort of miss where the line was, And when we talk about it, what are the boundaries? What are the ethical boundaries, the moral boundaries? What's my responsibility? I think it all comes
Legal
down to
boundaries.
one thing. I think if we were going to boil this entire show down to one word, it's consent. There
Yep.
has to be consent. And, you know, to Misty's point and to the love doctor's point, if you are in a state of inebriation legally, you cannot consent. You are not of mind
Yep.
to consent. So to the love doctor's point, I think if beforehand you've sort of been like, listen, tonight I would like to have sex with you. We might, you know, engage in alcohol or drugs or what have you. But I'm consenting to this now. And then once again, and this is so important. This is so important. This is the crucial piece. This is where people get it wrong. Is if no comes up at any point, it shuts it down. You can't go
100%.
back to. But you had said before that we were going to have sex. You can't because you know, to Misty's point, if the high goes in a different direction, if you get to the point where you're blackout drunk, there has to be a point where you're allowed to go, and you're always allowed, by the way, to go, no, like it needs to stop. So consent before, but no shuts the whole thing down. And congratulations for asking the question, because that is the ethical and responsible thing to do, is to open these questions up, because if you have the question, I promise you, other people watching also have that question.
100%.
Boom. Nobody is alone out there. Well said, Felicia. And it's also I've been playing with edibles recently.
Fun.
And so that does take like an hour to 2 hours to hit. So you might take it and then meet up with somebody and go, it's not hit yet, but I am going to be getting a high shortly. But
I think all of this too, what we're saying too, is it's all about communication as well.
Yes.
So it's consent and communication, right? Like if you've
consent
communicated,
is communication.
well, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, more so before, like if you're talking and you're like, hey, I would like to get drunk, but I also want to do this with you. Like that's communicating sort of what you want to have throughout the night. Like it's a little harder, I suppose, when you're on like a first or second date or something like that, because maybe you don't want to bring that up right away, but then it's like up to you sort of like not to get very drunk, or if you do, then place your boundary and then know for sure, like once you start drinking, like I've done that. I've been on a date with someone I didn't really know very well. Oh, this was a bad date. Oh yeah. We were on a date and then I started getting drunk. So I looked at him and I was like, nothing's gonna happen tonight, like for sure. Like I'm not, like I'm too drunk, I'm not feeling it. And then he got really sooky. And like at one point he stopped talking to me. Because I told him no, even before we got to his house. So imagine. Glad I did that in the bar.
Class act.
Right? Wasn't he? I didn't see him again. Actually, that was horrible. You want to know what the full end of that, what happened was? I was like, okay, thank you, bye. And I had ridden my bike and we were very far from where I lived, like far enough that biking was fine. And I wasn't drunk enough that I couldn't bike, which by the way, you shouldn't do. I've done, but I wasn't. I could have biked home, but I was too far away to get a cab. It was too much money and my fucking bike got stolen. So I went out and we looked all around for it and it was gone. And then he's like, oh, I thought nothing was going to happen. Did you even ride your bike? And I'm like, you're a fucking asshole and I have nowhere to go. And then I looked at him because I know he had a daughter and I went, how would you like it if your daughter came home and told you that somebody treated her like you're treating me right now? And he was like, you can stay. So then I stayed on his couch.
Sorry. Oh my God.
My bike was stolen, right? After I was like, nothing's going to happen tonight. Like, fine.
All right. Am I just different? Because there's been multiple times that I've been with people who have been drinking. It's not safe, or they've lost their keys or whatever. They can't get home. I will bring them over. They sleep in my bed. I take the couch.
Well, that's the nice thing to do, and you are different. There's not, as Felicia said earlier, there's a lot of flounders out there. You know, like you're not a flounder. You're an actual good fish.
And that's why that question just came up for you. Because it's so inconceivable for you're hearing this and you're like, no, but no one actually does that. I'm like,
Yeah.
No, that's what they actually do.
Yeah.
You are the exception to the rule. That most of them will do that. Most of them will take advantage. I can't even tell you the amount of times where I was in situations where I was like, that, like, and I always accept my part of the responsibility. I don't victimize myself, but there are times where I've been like, you took advantage, like, and you know you took advantage. And so
Mm,
Honestly, it is so. I can't even tell you how wonderful it feels when a guy just treats you with respect. Like
yeah.
it sounds it sounds terrible, but that becomes something that you crave and lust for. When people like describe your ideal man, like I'm gonna say, for the majority of people who are actually looking for a relationship, they'll be like respectful
Yep.
because they have never had that. Like they so wonder what it would be like to be like, I set boundaries and he respected them. I talked to him and he listened, he
Yeah.
cared. Like it's respect.
Actually, is my first wife came to me at one point and saying, my father, her father, uh, thinks the world of you because you call him sir.
Oh,
So that was all
that's
right.
nice.
We've got Wild Delilah saying hello, wonderfuls,
Hello! Yay!
and we have more questions.
Yay! Ask away.
What's the tight way to broach the subject?
Mm.
Oh, what's the right way, I believe, to broach the subject with your significant other about how many partners you've each had? Maybe it's none of my business, but the curiosity is killing me.
Oh.
So Felicia.
I know that the love doctor is going to have this really amazing answer for this question. It'll be like, it's all about open communication and trust one another, but you have to accept each other's boundaries and na 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 na. And that is going to be lovely and beautiful. And then we'll play the Beatles and we'll all, like sit in a circle and kumbaya it. But what I'm going to say is
John
don't
Lennon
ask me
beat a
that
wife.
fucking
So
question. It's none of your goddamn business.
Mm.
I am the town tricycle. I have been around the block more than a couple of
Hell
times.
yeah.
And I don't owe you that information. And I'm careful and I'm tested. I'm responsible. That's what you need to know. Because the problem is if you're asking that question, it's because you want to determine something. It's
Yeah.
not curiosity is killing me. You want to know, is this someone that I want to spend time with, or do I see them as perhaps used, trashy? There's a judgment that's happening here at some level, whether you want to admit that or not. So for me, again, love doctor, I know you're going to have a very mature answer for this, but if you ask me that question, I will send you packing. It's going to happen. I'm going to be like, oh, do you know how many lovers I'm not having tonight? You. That's what's not happening tonight.
Mm-hmm.
boom. All right. All I have to say is that was the perfect answer. The
Yeah.
fact that the curiosity is killing you shows that it is about you. It is not about them.
Yep.
So Felicia has that right. Just be happy that the partners they've had previously have led them to you.
Yeah.
They may have gone through pain, they may have gone through joy, but the main thing is that has brought them to you, and be thankful.
100%. I
Misty.
agree with everything that was said. Everything that was said. Like, usually, if you really want to know, and it is curiosity, there's something under there that maybe you're not even aware of. It could be something subconscious. Like we all have to fight those things. Like, I used to describe myself as a slut, and then I had gone to therapy for like an assault that happened years and years and years ago. And when I was talking to the therapist, she's like, "Why do you use that word? That word has a negative connotation to it." And so then it sort of made me think of, oh man, I didn't even know subconsciously that's what I was thinking. So if you're really curious about something like that, that could really just be because subconsciously you are judging that person, or you could judge that person in some way. Because also, like Felicia, I have been around the block. I like to say I moved from Newfoundland because I slept with all of the eligible bachelors. Like, not joking. I don't have a number because it's big. So, and
Lord, Thunder, and Jesus.
that was one of the things, how someone broke up with me because of that. Because at that time they asked me how many it was, and it was 80. And I'm telling you, this was years ago, so I really have no idea now. And I told them, and they were like, whoa. And then they broke up with me. So, yeah, I think that you don't need to know it. As the love doctor said, it's whomever, all their experiences led to where they are, which right now is with you. And those experiences are the people that they slept with or didn't sleep with. So it's none of your business, really.
Boom. Hammer has dropped. Oh, we've got a bunch of questions coming in,
Yay!
so let's try to get to all of them.
I have all
And
night.
I hope that we've helped you with that question.
Me too.
Next question we have is: do
And
people who
also,
date older men or women have a form of the Oedipus complex?
what? that would mean that every single person I've dated recently has a form of the Oedipus complex. Because I've dated a lot of people that are younger than me. So I don't think so. But I mean, I'm not a psychologist. I have no idea what's really going on in there, but I would think no.
Boom. All right.
Yeah.
So Misty is saying no. Felicia?
Okay, this is gonna be fun. So, I used to do stand-up comedy with this amazing Paul Ash person, and one day I plan on doing stand-up comedy again, and I've actually been working on something based around sort of this whole question here, and it came to me the other day. So, and this is something I'm going to be vulnerable about, which just makes for the best comedy. But last year I was diagnosed with BPD. And I realized that, I had borderline personality disorder. And so suddenly all these things started to fall into place. So do I have an Oedipal complex? No. Are there mother issues? I'm pretty sure there are. My mom passed away 8 years ago. I ended up gaining 250 pounds, which in and of itself, that's an issue. And so there are definite mother issues. Then I find out I have a borderline personality and I dress in drag. I am literally a bed and breakfast away from being Norman Bates. That's who I am, ladies and gentlemen. So am I going to say, if you want to sleep with someone older, is there an Oedipal complex? I don't think I'm the best person to ask, because I'm just like, no, sure, go for it. But my mother is also in the basement. And like I said, she died 8 years ago. No, that's incredibly morbid. I'm so sorry. But again, Psycho, Anthony Perkins, come on.
We got
classic references.
Yeah, it is a really good reference.
It's really, right? Like, you see it though, right? Like,
in you, no, I wouldn't have.
I wouldn't harm a fly.
Oh, that was great.
Oh, Felicia, I miss you. All right.
Yeah, you're great.
All right. The Oedipus complex is not just sleeping with somebody older. It's wanting to replace your same gender parent, or replace one of your parents to sleep with the other. Oedipus is if you want to replace your father. I think it's Jocasta if you want to replace your mother.
Really?
Yeah.
But wasn't Oedipus, didn't he sleep with his mom?
He did, but it was Jocasta who wanted to replace her mother.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yep.
So the complex is named after some.
To replace
Greece
the father.
stars.
I finally understood how you meant that. I'm a little slow today. It's the red wine called Nary.
Nary a bad time.
Yeah. Then it was $10. I bought it because there's like no thing to choose from.
So yeah, there's age gap dating.
I'm going to say this. I love older men. And I'm going to tell you why, because the bullshit falls away. They're not about proving themselves, and I drive a this, and I'm bodybuilding that. And like, and not all of them. I'm not trying to generalize, because yes, you have some midlife crises that go absolutely crazy, but most of the older men that I have met, most gay older men, I should put that out there, most gay older men that I have met have sort of gotten past the stereotypical pitfalls of like their gay formative years, like the superficiality, the drugs, the constant sex. And so they really sort of like know themselves. And if they have like a gut, they're like, yeah, I got a belly. Like, what is it? Like, who cares? And I find that very sexy. Like, I really, that's why I'm attracted. I don't think it's Oedipal. I don't think I'm attracted to it, because like, I don't like bullshit. I don't like games. And usually partners that I have that are older don't do bullshit or games. And that's very refreshing.
But what are we talking about when we say older? Like, I went on a date today with like a daytime date. How fun was that? It was really fun with an older guy who is 5 years older than me, which to me is
that to me is the same bracket. I'm like,
right?
If he's 5 years old, 5 years older, 5 years younger, they're my age.
Because
I don't really.
But the thing is, if he was 21 and she was 16.
Well,
it's a sliding
different
kind of scale.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, I think it's the same cultural references. So as you age, that window sort of gets larger.
Not the only thing that gets larger.
Hello. Oh, talked about my waistline. There is there's also the like the cultural references have to be similar, I think, for a connection, or usually should be similar, or at least the desire to learn about each other's cultural references. And it's oh, we just got a brilliant quote has come up from Mona Perverse. I'm not slutty, I'm just sexually social.
Yes, sexually social is the best way to describe everything.
Now, if there's people who act like um was it Matthew McConaughey's character in Dazed and Confused?
Oh God.
All right, all right, all right.
Exactly that
He
character.
keeps getting older, but they stay the same age.
Oh, that
Yes.
is not okay.
That's
That
his
is not
line.
okay.
It's his line.
There's also the idea that you know I would make comments about like people in their 30s who are dating people in their early 20s or younger and say like they're Star Trek fans. They want to boldly go where no one else has gone before, or they want to sleep with somebody who doesn't realize how shit they are at it. So I just a slight
Yeah.
critique.
Yeah, I've had
But-
some people online that like me that are 30 and I'm 43 and I'm like, no, I can't even meet you. And I know, again, like 30, 43, I guess that's still not because we're adults, but like, no, I've met
So-
some 30-year-olds. It's too young for me
I
to
just want to
date, not in general.
I just want to throw this out there because this is so frustrating for me, both as Dan and as Felicia. Okay, if I put myself on a dating thing or a hookup thing, so if I'm on Tinder, if I'm on Grindr, the only guys who message me, the only one, either Felicia or Dan, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if I'm a girl, if I'm a boy, are like 18 to 23 every time, and I'm always like, I feel like your mom. Like
Yeah.
my instinct to you right now, and I know this is terrible. I know that a sex therapist would be like, it's not up to you to determine what's good for them. I'm aware of that. But I'm just saying the way I was raised, I can hear my mother going, how old are you? Why are you on this app? This is completely inappropriate. You should be studying. And this is what I start doing. They're just like, no, I'm here to hook up. And I'm like, but have you asked yourself why? Why are you here to hook up? Like, I'm like, what void are you trying to fill? I start trying to be a therapist and I'm not qualified. So I'm just saying that can be very frustrating because that is the age group that seems to be attracted to this. When I go for people my age, they're like, no. Like, we know what you are.
Oh, all right. I do want to point out that people like dating apps usually skew younger, like especially
they
the
do,
hookup
right?
type apps. They skew younger, so there's more of them out there, and they tend to be a lot more open because they're saying yes to everyone.
Yeah.
Wow, way to make a girl feel special.
You are special. I'm just saying
It's
that.
you know why all these people are writing to you, Felicia? Because they're whores. They're tawdry little whores.
Way to slut shame, Felicia.
Oh, I love slut shaming. That was my name in high school. Slut shame.
Everyone knows I love Felicia.
Yes.
There's no way in there. Our next question we have here is, you know how people suck candy canes into sharp points? Is that a good way to get better at oral? Is that a good way? You know what? I
Sure.
do not know. I haven't done the study, but I would assume that it would be better because you have to move your tongue to get that sharp point, and you have to be gentle enough not to bite it off. Those are two good things not to do during oral.
Sorry. You have to be gentle enough not to bite it off. Oh, I'm sorry. Ooh, that just struck me as really, really funny. I would think, yes, it is a good way to train your tongue to move around an object that stays still. That is hard. But it's also, I mean, it could be smaller than the penis that you might be blowing, but you never know.
They have some giant candy canes
Oh, that's true.
and small penises. Felicia.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna do shameless self-promotion here. I was
Do you
told
give oral workshops?
the other night. Yeah, oh, you're gonna love this. I was told the other night by someone who used to work as a porn star that I was the best head he ever had. Ever.
Amazing.
And this is not the first time I've received that comment. So it's one of those things, like, there are things in my life I'm very confident about. There's things I'm not confident about. I am a brilliant writer. I'm maybe not Tolstoy, but I would definitely put myself, yeah, that's how brilliant I feel I am. I'm not Tolstoy, but I fall maybe just like right
Close.
under Tolstoy. So that, and I might be the Tolstoy of head. Like, War and Peace.
Okay,
And
so now
I'm
we
just
need to
saying,
know. So
like,
is it just because you can go deep? Is it the way you move your
I can
tongue?
do
Is it
it
your hand
all. I
movement? Is it
have a
all the
tongue that's
things
sort of
together?
like, I think my tongue is like a belly dancer. I can go deep. I'm like a long distance marathon header. Like, I can really like get into the groove. I have the rhythm. I make the noises. I do the looking up thing, like
Yeah.
all of it. I might be the Meryl Streep of head giving. Like, Sophie had no choice.
I love it.
That's terrible. That's absolutely awful. But to your point, the candy cane thing, here's the first thing that came through my head when you asked that question, and this is really messed up. This might go a little bit back to the Norman Bates thing. I always thought that a sharpened candy cane would make the best murder weapon, because you could just take that and shove it into the person's temple. For sure, if you sucked it down the way I would, you'd get it to a point so microscopic NASA couldn't pick it up, okay? Jam it into the person's head, and then the sugar melts. Like, they'd find, what, sugar in the hole? You don't know what happened. What, I killed him with a candy cane? You don't know. However, now, of course, if I do ever kill someone with a candy cane, and I'm not ruling it out as a possibility, but if
this video will somehow disappear.
This video
100%.
will be here. You know what I'm saying? Like, they'd find me being like, I could kill with a candy cane.
Though I can I just mention something? All the DNA from inside your mouth will be deep in the wound with the sugar.
I don't science.
Yeah. This is why you need to use an icicle.
Oh my God!
That still will have your DNA. You just have
An
to.
icicle.
Misty,
Oh yeah,
you're
yes,
wearing
which is
gloves.
right. All
So
right.
you're wearing gloves, and you're like, ho ho, boof, and then it melts, and then
the Love Doctor's like, today on the Love Doctor, we just have different ways to kill.
All right, we've had a couple comments and a follow-up question, so I'm just going to go to the comments first.
Okay.
I might be the Tolstoy of head. Good night, everybody. It's while Delilah gentle enough not to bite it off, I'm learning so much.
Right.
But Don Zanklin says, what about tying cherry stems, or is that a myth?
Aye.
What is the vote on that?
I mean, I can't tie a cherry stem for the life of me, but I was always really good at giving heads, so that's a myth. I don't know.
All right. I will just say that it is a skill set.
You can tie it, can't you?
I paralyzed part of my tongue when I was in my early 20s, and I lost I couldn't taste vinegar, etc. So
no.
I used to speak with quite the slur, but that is gone. But at the same time, it's no, I don't know if I could do it. It's just basically it's how you pull it out. I think is what ties the knot into it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
So it's like a magic trick, like somebody wearing a fedora would do.
Because you're like flipping it, and then you're like putting it in a circle, and then you just go, and tie the circle. Like, that makes sense in my brain. I don't think I could ever do it.
Right.
Thanks.
Why the DIY Muggle guy says this Love Doctor got murderous. All right.
It did.
Felicia, do you have a further thought on the
for the cherry stem? So here is everyone ready for another fun Felicia fact? I cannot tie a cherry stem into a knot, but here's a fun fact for you. I also can't tie my shoes, so that is a real thing. No, it's not a joke. You will always see me with my shoelaces undone unless I double knot it, and that's because someone explained it to me once. I tie them backwards. It's like I got it wrong when I was a kid, and people have asked me to explain. They're like, what do you mean you tie them backwards? I don't know. It's like the way I flip the string is the opposite way, and then when I do the little ribbon and the bunny going through the hole, it's all backwards. It's like I'm the Alice in Wonderland of tying shoes. And so if I do not double knot, if I don't do it, my shoes are always untied. all the time. People have seen me with untied shoes my entire life. I got comments at work about untied shoes. My family has talked to me at like weddings and funerals about untied shoes. And that is a fun fact. I can't tie my shoes and I'm 37.
Just
All
get
right.
shoes without laces.
I do all the time. All the time. That's why I think I'm a
Bloodstones,
drag queen, because I can just wear pumps. Like,
Or you
it's
need to
just,
get the like the elastic laces. You'll have to tie
or
those.
buckles.
buck,
I could see you with
I'm
boots up to your
gay.
knees that are got.
How dare you with your Puritan buckles?
Oh,
They're not all
I could
Puritan.
probably show you shoes.
Yeah.
All right. I think we got
Next
time.
question.
We got one more question here, so I think this could be it for us.
Really? What time is it?
It's 10:30. We've been doing this for 90 minutes almost.
How did that happen? It doesn't feel like that at all.
Oh, it's
We've been
sped by.
Mona
Yeah.
Mona's going away, and
Oh.
we also got a good night from Roshan already.
Oh, good
Thank
night,
you
both of
everybody
you.
who's been watching. Please remember to hit like, and if you
And
want
tip
to
if you can.
yes, and this is how you can. The link tree is right there. So it's going to be running along the bottom. That's my manager. So linktr.ee/Paul Ash. And that is, you go there, and the first thing is buy a drink. So pay what you'd normally pay on a drink or a night out, too. You can always
Yeah.
put that in. And whatever
be
comes in
great.
the next 24 hours will be split among all the performers you're seeing on screen right now.
We're
Yay.
poor.
Really
And I
though,
wanna buy-
like
I want to buy more dolls. I have a really creepy doll collection.
I
I
wish
love
I was
them.
just buying dolls.
See,
I
I
love
don't
them.
even have a real brick wall. That's how poor I am. That's
I had to choose between buying a Christmas tree or my cat's food.
oh.
So you
So I
got a
chose
Christmas
the
tree,
food.
right?
No, I need them to live. So I
Right.
chose
Yeah,
the
that's
food.
what I
But then I
would've done
just bought a
too.
Christmas tree. I don't have it yet. But oh, I'm getting Santa to drop it off. That's for another day. I'm gonna dress up like Elf. Like Elf from the movie.
All right, we're losing somebody else here. DIY
No.
Muggle guy is going
Okay,
away. We still
sorry.
have another question. Let's try to get to
Let's
this
do the
question.
Sorry about that, everyone. We love you.
I'm casually dating someone I'm really falling for. I'm ready for more, but he's not down for a relationship. How can I just enjoy the time we spend together and not have expectations? Any
Oh.
tips would be great. That is going to Felicia first.
Ooh,
I hate to be the negative Nancy on this one, and again, I'm sure the love doctor is going to come up with some really amazing balanced answer. I have BPD, so for me that would be a no-go. Like if I'm wanting the relationship and they're not in the place where they are, I know for me I have to sort of sever the tie, because with where I'm at in managing my mental health right now, I'm not in a place where I would be able to hang out with them and just keep it at that. I would always be like, do they like me yet? Like, is it happening yet? Like, I'm not at a place where I think I could respect their boundary. Not that I'm saying I would ever take advantage of them, like nothing like that. But I'm just like, if they were like, hey, I'm not interested, I would always sort of have in the back of my head that they might one day be interested. And so for me, that's a walk away from. I'm sure there's people that are in a different space in their mental health journey that could handle that situation in a much different way, but I could not.
All right. Brilliant, honest answer. Misty.
Yeah, no, if it comes to when you're actually dating someone but they're not ready for the relationship, I can't do it. I tried, because at first I thought I wasn't ready either, but then my person that I was dating and I sort of seemed like we were hanging out all the time and we were still also dating other people. So it seemed like we were just sort of in an open relationship, but I was the primary. At least that's what I thought. And then it turned out that wasn't it. And I had to walk away because I realized like I need to be the primary. I don't mind dating other people, but I need for them to know that I exist, and I need to be able to tell other people that the person I'm with exists, you know? So again, that is a relationship, even if you want to say that it's not. So personally, for me, I agree with Felicia in the sense that for me personally, if it's someone that I want to date, I have to walk away. I have to walk away and make a break, and then maybe I can come back and be friends, but it would have to be actually like without sex. And then if there is sex, I'd have to make sure for sure I know that it's friends with benefits. I have done that. I can do that once I change my mindset and I no longer want that from the other person. But if I'm dating them and I just want to be in a relationship with them, I have to walk away. Unfortunately, sorry, that's not the answer you want to hear.
I think I'm going to surprise Felicia in saying that we're all on board with this together. It is
Mm.
the same thing. That is the healthiest way to do it. What Felicia and Misty have both said. If they're not ready for a relationship with you, you're going to be pining over them. You're going to be putting more into it than they are, and hoping for something to come out of it. There's the comparison is like just like the incel types who keep on putting friendship coins in the piggy bank, hoping that sex will come out of it. You can't put sex coins into the piggy bank, hoping that love comes out of it.
No.
Yes.
It's
No.
not the same thing.
No.
So
That's a great analogy.
Yeah, that's a great analogy.
so make sure I've been doing this for a while. Make sure that you are being treated with respect, and if they and that is a level of respect. Is they're saying like, honestly, I like you, I don't see you as a relationship.
Yeah.
Then that is a level of respect that they are being that honest with you.
And then you have to treat yourself with respect too.
Yeah.
Because if you do
You deserve better.
understand, yeah, if you want a relationship with that person, like what they're telling you by saying that they don't want a relationship is literally, if they didn't say it this way, it's exactly what the love doctor said. What they're saying is they're saying they don't want a relationship with you. Like that's literally, that's the truth. That's just, we've all been on the other side of that. I've been on the other side and said, I don't want a relationship. And really it's with that person. So you're just pining away. So treat yourself, even like if you know that's what you want out of them, walk away until you can be their friend.
I also would suggest you keep out of their orbit, keep them out of your orbit,
If you can, yep.
because you're going to fixate on them.
Oh yeah, been there, done that.
And that
All
will
the
mean
time.
that you will not be mentally open for the right
No.
person coming along.
And yeah, you won't be mentally open. And if you're anything like me, like I was fixating on that person that didn't choose me, that I broke up with, and like literally I was stalking them on a social media. Because I'm like, what are they posting? Are they posting that girl? What are they posting? Like, you know.
Boom.
And do you know, one of the things that I've come to sort of, realize on my journey is that has been sort of one of my pitfalls, is that I do chase the people that aren't giving me the attention. Like I've come to think that that's the attractiveness. I was like, well, if they don't want me, there's probably a good reason, because they're better than me. So this is exactly the type of person I should be going for. So it's also sort of breaking that and being like, if someone doesn't want to spend time with you, do you want to spend time with them? Like and sometimes that can be hard, right? Because like it might make you feel it might hurt a little bit. Like it might make you feel a little shitty because you wanted to invest more than they were willing to invest. But at the end of the day, like the people that want to spend time with you, those are the people you should be cultivating relationships with. And if something comes out of it, amazing. And if something doesn't, that's fine too. Relationships and love can come in like so many different forms. I don't think we have to get so hung up on finding the one, when you can have amazing friendships, you can have soulmates, you can have all these different types of relationships. And eventually when you're ready, I think it happens, and I'm saying that as someone who it hasn't happened for. So I really am an optimist, because I have never been in a committed relationship for a length of time. And I still believe that it will happen when it's supposed to. But I do think that, you have to focus sort of on your journey first.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Boom. All right, great answers, great advice for everybody in there. I'm the Love Doctor. I love you all. With me has been the amazing Misty Portugal.
Love you.
And the fantastic Felicia Rayne. These are their Instagrams, Felicia_Rayne on Instagram, and all one word, Misty Portugal on Instagram. Follow them with the Slido that's running along the bottom. That's how you can donate to the show. But also my manager has all of his other shows are on there. So if you want to check out any of those, please do so. That's linktr.ee/Paul Ash. So PAULASH, Ash, as in when you burn stuff, what's left over. You've known him for a while. He's said that before. There we are.
It's true, but I still find it funny.
This has been the Love Doctor live stream. episode 4 of season 2.
Woo!
Next week is episode 5 of season 2, and Mona Perverse will be on it.
Yay!
Mona!
Boom. We want to say good night to everybody. Good night,
Good night, we
to
love
Delilah.
you.
Thank you.
Good
And
night,
thank you,
Wild
everybody,
Tea.
for tuning in. If you can't donate, please at least click the like button and share.
Yeah.
And
And if
follow
you can,
us
donate
and slide
too.
into my DMs and come over and I'll make you happy.
That's a promise. There we are.